Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this week for our Stay Connected webinar. We're very excited that our topic today will help you in planning your summer program. We know it's a really important time for your students, and we know that you are in the midst of planning early this year, so you're ready to go. On behalf of the Get Connected Conference partners, I just want to welcome you and thank you for joining these Stay Connected webinars so that we are able to stay connected in between conferences and be able to communicate with each other in an ongoing way. So I'm Kim Larson, and I'm going to turn this over in just a second to our two co-hosts. This week we have Sandy Day with Beyond School Bells, who will be sharing some really useful and interesting resources with you. And Sandra Freirichs, a frequent Stay Connected presenter with 4-H Nebraska Extension, is also going to be sharing some of their resources from Extension. So thank you to all of you who are joining. Make sure you introduce yourself in the chat. And if you have any questions, go ahead and unmute yourself or feel free to communicate through the chat as well, however you're comfortable. So Sandy, we'll let you take it away. Thank you so much for joining us today.
You bet. Thank you so much for inviting Beyond School Bells to talk a little bit about summer planning. So good afternoon, everybody, and happy Thursday. I'm thrilled I remembered what day it was, given a holiday and then a snow day and holy smokes, can we keep ourselves together day. I'm wondering if I could call on Kim maybe if you could help me keep track of the chat in case there are questions I might miss. I'd appreciate that.
Sure.
So allow me a moment to clip-clop down memory lane. And for me, and I don't know how you look at it when you come to summer planning, but this was really always a really exciting time of year as a program director for CBCSD. It was an opportunity for us to literally, I mean, we get to think about programming in a creative way for the first time, since the previous year, because I mean, let's face it, regular schooling an hour before, 2 to 3 hours after school kind of boxes you in with what you can offer. So we really, when we put our summer planning hats on in CB, we did a couple things. We listened to a lot of student youth voice and asked them, we usually began with the secondary students and then worked with the elementary students and asked them what they were interested in learning about. And then we literally went from there. We had student advisory that met on a fairly regular basis, but this was the time of year we really leaned on them to give us some direction on what they would think would be exciting and most meaningful for them to do over the summer. And now in our programming, we had 6 weeks of 6 hours a day. So, I mean, literally, it was a beautiful canvas that you could paint literally any adventure on. It was a wonderful time. I always loved doing summer. So that was before COVID. And I know a couple things. Number one, we're not in that world anymore. We're also not, many of us, aware of what summer will look like. I've talked to a lot of our partners across the state already this spring, well, this winter, and they are saying, I don't even know what summer is going to look like. So how can I even dream or plan or come up with new ideas? Well, I'm just going to say to us all, let's just take a leap of faith, shall we? Let's take a leap of faith. Let's pretending like we're doing that boiling water and then frozen air, poof, and there it is. It's going to work. It's going to work out. And based on the things I want to show you today, I'm really going to encourage you to apply for some of these new funds we're talking about for our Summer of Innovation. That's what we're calling 2021, our Summer of Innovation. And we are looking for partners across the state that will commit to renewing and accelerating summer learning for our students. They deserve it. Hey, look, that's why we're here, right? I mean, we're not in this business for the income. We're in it for the outcomes. So take that leap of faith. Are you ready to throw the boiling water into the air with me? Ready? Here we go. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and I want to take you to our webpage, which is fabulous. Oh, and before I do that though, I wanted to make sure I had given you in the chat that particular link, just in case you don't have it, but I'm sure you probably do. At any rate, here we go. Accept. Hold on a second. I'm having a problem. Give me just a moment. Oh, that's why. Okay, cool. Doo-doo-doo. Thanks for your patience. This happens to me every now and then. I get kind of excited about all the bubbling water in the air and forget where I'm at. Okay, so I know you've probably been here to this website before. And big shout out to Jennifer Jones, who continually updates it to meet all of the things that we're trying to provide for you all. We've added a new, this is a kind of a different rolling banner, but we've added a new tab called Summer. However, when you come to the landing page, it should be on the Summer of Innovation as its first slide there. So, you know, you can click it there, or you can click it at the top if it's already rolled past. So on this page, here's kind of an overview, 60,000 foot level of what we're wanting to create new partners to do. And we are offering 3 different grant opportunities for you. And here's the RFP, here's the actual grant application. And we'll go through these pieces, not because I'm not going to read them to you, but I do want to show you that we've added a couple things that I really think you're going to like for all of the grant writers out there. I don't know. I've written a lot of grants, CLC being just the one, but I've written a lot of federal grants and private grants and those sorts of things. And the one thing that I think we've added this time that will help you quite a bit are sample grant proposals. So basically, based on this grant application down here at the bottom, we actually wrote for you a sample garden proposal, what it would look like, what a sample outdoor classroom grant would look like. We wrote a sample youth-driven programming proposal, what that would look like, and then also the service learning and civic engagement proposal, if you choose to go down that road. Now, how is that? Why does that help you? Here's how it helps you. If you're looking at the actual grant application, and I want to pull it up here, that's that bottom document. Are you guys all seeing this, the grant application? Are you, okay, cool. So basically, here's the grant application. This is the RFP that we've been putting out like forever. Answer these questions in your grant proposal, right? All of the stuff. Give me your budget. Explain it. Da 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 da. Make sure that you have the application, your budget, and then your letters of support from either a school superintendent or principal, and a reminder of who gets this application package when you're done. Also on this page, you're going to see that the applications are due April 1st by 5 p.m. And again, we're taking that leap of faith. I verified this with Jeff last night at kind of a late hour. I don't want to tell you. But I said to him, what happens if people apply and then their summer programming looks different by the time they get there? He said, please have them go ahead and apply anyway. We will always work with a site, a partner, to iron out wrinkles that happen. And that's kind of been Beyond School Bells' MO anyway. But anyway, a reminder that Dakota Skaggs, I don't think he's on the call. I think he might have had a conflict, but he's our new program director. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to hear from him. That's where this whole package will go once you're done with it.
Hey,
So,
Sandy, sorry to interrupt. We're not seeing I think you're showing the grant application maybe, but we're not seeing it.
Okay, so that tells me one thing.
Yeah, maybe Sandra put the link in the chat, but just wanted to let you know.
You're good. One sec. Appreciate that. I keep forgetting. I should know. Can you see it now? I keep forgetting that when you go from one application or a web page to an actual application, in this case Word, it stops sharing your screen. I apologize. Thank you guys for helping me out. So here again is the application and all the different parts you need to answer in your grant proposal, okay, which is nice. as I indicated, your budget justification, what the budget will actually look like. A reminder of the due date is on this RFP page. And then make sure you have these three components: the application, the budget justification, and then that letter of support. Now, what we did with the templates, and I'm just going to show you one, and then I'm watching my time, so I'm not going over. I just want to show you one, how we took all this stuff up here and we created an actual sample for you to use. So let me stop sharing because I want to go out and get it and make sure I'm sharing that exact page. Yeah, we'll do the sample garden. Love that. Okay. So again, the RFP is there. What we did, and I give all credit for the two outdoor garden proposals, A and B. This was done by Dakota because this is his area. I mean, has a master's in it. Come on. So he knows what he's doing. So here's the proposal, the purpose of this outdoor garden, any outdoor garden. Again, how you use this template is up to you, but I mean, literally it's a roadmap, right? Here's the high points we need to see on this side of it. Please make sure you're putting your stuff in the middle of it. So you can use any of this or change it to meet your site's justification or purpose. Here's a sample budget. Summarizing of the budget, and then here's the specifics of what you're going to buy. In my old days, that didn't sound good, but in the old days, when I would do something like this, I would have another column onto the right over here next to notes that would literally be the link for that garden soil that I found on Amazon or Walmart or whatever. That way I never had to look it up twice. See? Crazy like a fox. And then down here, and he's, like I said, he's so good. This is his area. So some possible gardening variations, but each one of these templates also puts a community connections suggestion for you, which I think will be very helpful. Here's a sample management plan showing to us that we know that you've thought through everything on how to manage this project. And again, all of this is completely customizable, but it's a plus sample of what we're looking for. And then you're going to love this. No matter which template you use, please do look at the resources that we've collected for you, because they will help you so much. Get your program and your ideas together. So again, I'm looking at my time and I'm coming up to halfway, and I don't want to take any of Sandra's time, but I do want to say this. On that same page, the Beyond School Bells page that I stuck in your chat, make sure you go there, hit the summer, and all those templates are there. If I could share one other thing, and then I promise I'll be quiet. I just want to make sure that if you're looking for me, that you can always find me. Are you ready? Is it scary? Always. Okay, so on that very same page, which is the Summer of Innovation, the last page, the last link over far on the left is our whole BSB curriculum page. And you could, are you seeing the BSB curriculum page? Yep. Cool. You could, if you needed to like think of some ideas, one of the things I would point you to is the summer activities guide that came from the 50 State Association last summer. And if you didn't get a chance to look at it, there are 150 different activities laid out by grade bands for you that are really excellent and aligned to standards. So it's the whole 9 yards. But this stuff in the links in the center, this is all stuff that BSB has either written or co-written or facilitated another group to write, like the Homegrown Theater. This was actual theater artists that wrote all that stuff. And then we duded it up for the webpage. But I wanted to point out that here's where you can always find me. Here's my email address. And please reach out if you have any questions about this or anything else that we're doing to support programs in summer and after school. Were there any questions in the chat?
Yeah, there were two.
There's no minimum. There's no minimum. The only amount is a maximum, and that's 15,000. And I'm glad you asked that question, because I'm thinking about our partner in Lincoln through Civic Nebraska. and our partner in Omaha through Civic Nebraska, and each one of them have multiple sites. I would encourage them to encourage their sites to come up with a plan here, and then have Civic Nebraska wrap it up in a bow. So like, I don't know, Sherman might request $5,000, Lothrop might need $5,000, but then wrap all that up and make one proposal that would facilitate all of those different sites. So that would be my suggestion there. And then, okay, perfect. Thank you, Sandra, for putting that other link in there. Okay. I think, anything else? Question-wise? All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
I wanted to start out just briefly talking about STEM Cares. And I don't know, Sandy, you may know more about this project than I do. It is a partnership between Nebraska 4-H and Beyond School Bells, but I'm not working on it myself. But I know that they are currently looking for sites and projects on this. Are you familiar with it, Sandy?
You know, if Dakota was on here, that actually is the program that he oversees. I'm vaguely aware of it, frankly, but they did send out what would you call it? Last call, I think, for folks who are interested in that pot of money as well. I can certainly connect. I can certainly connect people with Dakota if they need that.
Well, and I can connect to the reason I wanted to just briefly mention this one is it is happening now. This is not a summer project, but they are looking for programs for March and April. So it is a program that will bring high school students into your after school program to deliver 6 weeks of content around STEM. And we'll be training those high school students with cooperation with 4-H and Beyond School Bells. So I guess what I'm gonna say is if you are interested in this program, I will put an email in the chat. You can email my colleague because I do not know any more about it than this, except that you can do it right now. So
there's one other component to that as well, and that is having college students act as content mentors for high school students. So that it can be a two-part thing.
Yeah. And I know we've hired college students, so that process has happened, and we're recruiting those high school students will actually come into your after school program. So I put Rebecca's email in here. She knows more about the project than I do. But I encourage you to consider that if you are interested, because it is a way to bring those experiences to your kids in a different way. And having that near peer mentor is really beneficial. Somebody that's just a little bit older than them that is providing those STEM learning opportunities is really positive in terms of developing an identity and seeing yourself as someone who can do STEM. And beyond that, what I wanted to share with you are some opportunities that you have to partner with Nebraska 4-H as you're planning your STEM programming. Are any of your programming? I always think of STEM first, but we have a wide variety of resources, and I'm going to share with you not just our STEM resources, but also some of the other resources that are available for summer. I also encourage you always to reach out to your local 4-H office, because they will have more resources than what I have available to share with you. I can share with you resources that are available statewide, but there are going to be some resources that build on the strengths of the people in your local area. And so reach out to them. The first one I want to talk about today is STEM Mentors. And this is a virtual program most of the time. So as Sandy was talking about, when we're just really looking for all the options, STEM Mentors is usually taught via Zoom, though in the summertime we have had some in-person programs as well. And we have university students who provide the direct instruction on the topics. We cover robotics, coding, a little bit of engineering, a great one on nano. So we've got specific courses, and your university mentor provides the instruction, and then they partner with a staff person who is in person with the students, who is supporting that instruction. So it's kind of a co-teaching situation. And we have lots of great opportunities in the school year. STEM Mentors is usually offered once a week for 6 weeks as an after-school club. And if you have a 6-week-long summer program, you can continue to use that model and have an hour a week that your STEM mentor joins with your program to do the STEM Mentor Club. But if you're not using a club model over the summer, we can offer that same content in 1 week in a 3-hour session. So you could do a morning or an afternoon session, and in 5 days, they'll cover what would have been covered in 6 weeks during the school year. So STEM Mentors is the first opportunity that I really want to encourage everyone to consider. It is an opportunity to bring virtual programming into your program. It is designed for the kids to all be together and working collaboratively, but the instructor is virtual. And again, it's that near peer model of developing the identity as someone who can do computer science and building a connection with somebody who's currently in college at UNL and can share a little bit of that experience. And we have been really blessed with a diverse group of STEM mentors that make excellent role models in a lot of different ways. The next one I want to share with you, actually there's 2 of these, 3, that are actual curriculum that you can purchase from 4-H and you can implement yourself. Now, we also have teams that are teaching these curriculum, but TechBox is one of my favorites of our curriculum opportunities. It is a tinkering curriculum. Tech is tinker, explore, create, but it is all built around entrepreneurship. So it's great hands-on, low-tech activities that introduce entrepreneurial thinking and help students figure out how they can be entrepreneurs. This is a very hands-on curriculum. Highly recommend. I love TechBox. It's just $20 for the curriculum, so you can add it to your list, and you'll get the youth guide and the facilitator's guide. I can't say enough about this. You will enjoy using TechBox, and bringing together that tinkering and entrepreneurship is a lot of fun in this curriculum. The next one I want to share, sorry, I've got to control where I don't want it, there, is WeCook. And this is one of my absolute favorite curriculums that we offer. WeCook is a curriculum that brings together learning about cooking and health and physical activity and goal setting all in one. So it's a sort of all parts of healthy living experience, and it has great hands-on cooking lessons, 12 lessons, and you don't need to be an experienced cook to teach these lessons, but it's a great resource. This one is only $15 if you get the digital version, $25 if you get the printed version. And again, it is 12 lessons for that price. Really fun activities that incorporate healthy living as a whole. And I bet your staff, whoever decides to facilitate this, will be learning right along with kids how to make those healthy decisions about what you're going to eat and how active you're going to be, how to prepare healthy foods. So they learn about nutrition, they learn about cooking skills, and they learn about healthy living all in one. And again, I love this one. It's one of my favorite of our curriculums. Another one that is in that healthy living area that is also very good is Youth in Motion. And this one is all about physical activity. It doesn't have the cooking and nutrition component that We Cook does, but it has a lot about being physically active and understanding the science behind being physically active, as well as just building those skills and learning different ways to be active. This one is really cheap, only $6.95. And it is for a little bit older youth. It says 11 and older. So this would be for your upper elementary and middle school, whereas We Cook was 8 and up. So you could do that. You wouldn't necessarily want to be cooking with your youngest kids, but this is a great opportunity where the older youth could do the cooking and maybe share that with some of the other kids in the program if they want to as well. So in the chat, I put links to all of these curriculum resources so you can find them. Tech Box is the entrepreneurship and tinkering. We Cook is that whole picture of healthy living, physical activity, nutrition, and cooking. And Youth in Motion is about healthy lifestyles. I'm sorry, and physical activity. So I hope that these will be helpful as you're planning what you want to do this summer and bring in some new resources. But again, contact your local office, find out what they're offering as well, because they will have those local resources built on the strengths of the individuals there. Thank you,
Sandra,
everyone.
thank you so much. I'm wondering, I know there's a map available online that helps people find their local extension office and contacts. Maybe we could post that along with the recording of the webinar and some of these other resources, just in case somebody isn't connected to their extension educators. Thanks for, oh, you're muted, Sandra.
We have a great website that I also want to share as a way to find that local office. When you go here, you will see, you can click on just where you are, or you can click on any of our statewide programs, or even put in some keywords of that search. So if you put in your county, you'll find that, but you can also just click. Let's see if I can find Lancaster real quick. And you can see who those local people are. And one of the things I like about here is it shows all of your extension contacts for your local area. So Tracy is our local 4-H educator, and she's fantastic. I know a lot of our schools are working with her, but you also may want to connect with Jason and do something with the early childhood program, or with Kayla and do something in health and food and nutrition. So it's a nice way to see all of those local experts and who could be part of who could help you. So thanks for asking that question, Kim. I
Yeah,
put that link in the chat as well.
wonderful. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions for Sandra or other more general questions or questions for Sandy? This makes me really excited for summer. We're all really looking forward to that, and this will make summer planning really fun and interesting, I think. Great opportunities. Well, we really appreciate all of you who joined today. I see, if she's still on, I see Abby Burke has joined our webinar today. Our next Stay Connected webinar is March 4th, and Abby Burke is our NDE reading specialist. And she's going to talk about some resources that they're developing at NDE that would be resources you could share with families in strategies for supporting their readers at home, but also activities that you could do in the after school program. And we're going to invite some 21st century program leaders to also talk about how do they intentionally embed reading into some of those summer enrichment clubs.
I'm
Abby,
really
are you
looking
still
forward to that.
there? Yeah, do you have anything to add, Abby? Don't want to put you on the spot, so you can.
Okay, hi, I'm here.
There
I
she
turned my
is.
video off because I was having lunch, multitasking. Yeah, so I will, it's nice to see all of you. And you actually gave me some ideas about what we can do at the next session. I'm the reading specialist with the Nebraska Department of Education. And so one of the things that I'll be sharing is how we can consider the role of literacy throughout enrichment experiences. Because we know that reading, writing, listening, and speaking, there's so much potential for that as students are working and creating a garden or doing some sort of engineering activity. And so we're really going to look in to see how is literacy developed using those either science ideas, math ideas, and social studies ideas. Because that's one area that we're always wanting to support our students with, even during the summer, is continuing to ensure that they're growing as readers. So I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah.
See all
Thank
of
you so much, Abby.
Thanks.
We really appreciate it. That'll be a great webinar again on March 4th at noon Central Time. So unless anybody else has any questions, I want to thank all of you for joining, and we'll look forward to our next Stay Connected webinar. We'll see how many of these resources we can post along with the recording on the Stay Connected site. Sandra and Sandy, I'm sure, will be back in touch, and so we'll make sure you can access all of the great information that was shared today. So thanks everyone, and we'll
Thanks, everybody. Great
see you
conversation.
in
Have a great day.
thanks for your time, everybody.